Hi, Pop-Tarts, back for the Quarantine Read Aloud series. Today is day 62, and we will be reading Nancy Rose's The Secret Life of Squirrels. I would like to dedicate this reading to my parents, who, as if you know my dad, he is not a big fan of squirrels. So, hope you love it. Mr. Peanuts. Most squirrels spend their days gathering nuts and climbing trees. Not Mr. Peanuts. He is a rather unusual squirrel. Mr. Peanuts enjoys activities such as cooking on his tiny grill. His hot dogs are delicious. Mr. Peanuts plays the piano beautifully. His favorite is Moonlight Sonata. Most squirrels would find that piece quite difficult to play, but then again, most squirrels don't play the piano. Mr. Peanuts likes to read. His favorite books are A Tale of Two Cities and Goodnight Nut. He especially likes to read aloud. You may have heard him chattering in your backyard. Mr. Peanuts has a busy and mostly happy life, but once in a while he feels lonely. Being a clever squirrel, Mr. Peanuts has an idea to sit down and writes a letter using his very best penmanship. Dear Cousin Squirrel, please come for a visit. I promise you will have an excellent time. Sincerely, Mr. Peanuts. He mails the letter the very next day. Then he waits and waits and waits some more. He checks his mailbox every day, hoping for a reply. One day, he finds a letter waiting for him. It reads, Dear Mr. Peanuts, my favorite cuz. Thanks for the letter. It's been too long. Can't wait to see what you're up to these days. I'll be there soon. Cheers, Cousin Squirrel. Mr. Peanut smiles as he reads the tiny letter over and over. Then he gets right to work. He wants to make sure everything is perfect for his cousin's visit. Mr. Peanuts dusts and cleans. He even vacuums under the rug. He does laundry, chattering to himself as he works. He is the tidiest squirrel around, and certainly the only one with a washer and dryer. Mr. Peanuts makes up his cousin's bed just so, with sheets tucked in tight. He wants him to have a great night's sleep. He bakes his most delicious hazelnut chocolate cake. He tastes the batter just to be sure it's sweet enough. Mr. Peanuts takes a bath with his rubber ducky. A squirrel can never be too clean. He even brushes his whiskers. Just look at that handsome squirrel in the mirror. Finally, Cousin Squirrel arrives. He is just in time for breakfast. Mr. Peanuts and Cousin Squirrel both love pancakes. Later, the two squirrels go for a wagon ride. Mr. Peanuts soon learns that two squirrels travel faster than one. Mr. Peanuts teaches Cousin Squirrel how to play chess. Cousin Squirrel learns quickly. It is more fun to play chess with a friend, thinks Mr. Peanuts, even if you don't always win. It's a beautiful day, so they pack a picnic. Cousin Squirrel makes his peanut butter sandwiches with an extra layer of crunchy peanuts. Mr. Peanuts has never thought to try that. It tastes scrumptious. That night, they build a campfire and scare each other with ghost stories, including the old haunted tree and the one-eyed owl. You can't tell yourself a ghost story, thinks Mr. Peanuts. You need a friend. The next day, they go out for ice cream. Mr. Peanuts has his usual scoop of peanut brittle. Cousin Squirrel tries the flavor of the month, buttery salted pecan. Mr. Peanuts and Cousin Squirrel are two rather unusual squirrels who have a wonderful time together. Having a friend makes everything twice as fun. 10 tips for photographing wildlife, because if you've noticed, this book actually has real pictures of squirrels. Practice using your camera on things that do not move, like flowers, food, even a friend who can sit still. Then practice on your pet. Try getting down to the animal's level for better close-ups. You may have to sit or lie on the ground. Try to capture the animal's personality. Catch your pet being funny, playing with its toys, or cuddling with its owners. 4. Keep your camera steady. You can rest your camera on something solid or use a tripod with a special camera stand, which is a special camera stand. Number 5. Look for good light. The best days for photographing outside are bright, overcast days. 6. Action shots are always more interesting. Some cameras have settings for sports, which will help you capture moving animals. 7. Take lots and lots and lots of shots. 8. Set up a feeding station for squirrels and birds in your yard if you can. The feeding station can be a bird feeder or just a small table with bird seed, as well as sunflower seeds and peanuts for squirrels. Number 9. Respect wildlife and be safe. For example, taking pictures of birds' nests might frighten the parents away and they may not come back to their babies. Always be careful around pets and animals that you do not know. It is always best to have a parent or an older friend with you. 10. Finally, be patient. You cannot ask a wild animal to pose for you. Caution. While many animals are friendly, you can never be sure. Please speak to an adult before photographing, approaching, or feeding an animal you do not know. And I hope you have a great day and try to think about things next time you see some squirrels and their secret lives. Have a great day.